Hey, what's going on everyone, this is iReviews back with another video, and today we're talking about iOS 18.4. Now the update we have been waiting for a really long time. We actually had to wait a few weeks just for the release of the first beta, but now it's here. It has been released on the Friday and it has a ton of new features and changes. Now the new Siri features that have been expected to be released with this update are not here, but there are a ton more. On the first video I showed you guys more than 20 new features, and we have even more, another like 12 or 13 other features to talk about that actually make this a great update. And we're starting with a really important one, but I just forgot to talk about it on the first beta, and this one is for the notifications, of course, with devices that do offer the Apple Intelligence features. Now you can go ahead and enable prioritized notifications. So by enabling this, the iPhone user will basically get their notifications at the top, which will be a section of priority notifications that will actually show on top. So you can see right here all the different explanations regarding this, and what you will see is basically a stack of different notifications that are priority, and that will of course all be pushed by Apple Intelligence. There's also a change on the setup process of the iPhone. Now you will have this called the age range. So when you go ahead and try to set up an iPhone, you will see this, and you will have to basically pick between 3 different sections right here to set up your iPhone. And here's one of my favorite changes. Now this is a bit smaller, but it's really awesome. You can see right there the dynamic island. We have that Bluetooth icon indicating that the audio is being played on a Bluetooth device. Now you would see that previously, if maybe for the Mac or for your headphones. Now it will also show you right there the Bluetooth whenever you're actually playing something from your iPhone to your Bluetooth device. And this is also really interesting. Now I was here on the Maps app, and if you just invoke Siri with the Maps app open, you can see right here, it will give me this suggestion right here. So I have a couple of them actually. It shows search for top rated restaurants nearby. That's just like a Siri suggestion. But then right here we have one from Apple Intelligence. It says right here, what can I do in Maps app? So basically letting us know that some of the Siri features that we have been expecting to come out with iOS 18.4 maybe are being tested, and this would allow Siri to actually do things within the Maps app. Now the same did happen on the Settings app as well, but now it's actually not showing up when I tried it, but it basically said the same thing, what can I do on the Settings app? So it's basically a hint, or maybe some of the features being actually tested on iOS 18.4 beta 1. Moving to the control center, we have a few changes right here. Now, first of all, right here, the focus modes, you can see we have those little arrows. Now we don't have the 3D press right there to go to the focus modes. We can just tap on the arrows and we have all of them right here, and we can go ahead and choose any of them. And you will notice right here the volume and the brightness as well. You can see the little icon which is white right there, the volume. It is yellow in this case for the brightness, and it will stay like that. You can see it will stay white for both of them until you just turn up the brightness or the volume all the way to here, so it starts covering the icon, and then it will switch to a different color. And Apple has also introduced the new ambient music with iOS 18.4, and what's really cool is that if you have added those to your control center, of course you can add them from here, but you will also be able to actually edit them and change what it plays. So I can go to any of them, tap right there, and all of they have different sounds. So if I tap right there, I have 4 different sounds to choose from. I can do the same with each of them, so they basically have a playlist of 4 different sounds we can play from the control center. Now with ambient music, you will be able to also add it to your lock screen. So if you just decide you want to have that music basically on your lock screen, and you want to be able to quickly just have access to that directly from here, you can just go to the edit mode. And from here you can go ahead and customize the buttons of your lock screen, and you can choose the new ambient music to actually add it directly to your lock screen. Of course, as just with the control center, you also right here will be able to choose from the playlist and actually choose what you want to play using that button. Now in the first video I'll show you guys a new filter added to the Photos app, and there's also another new one that we have missed. Now previously I showed you guys that we had like a filter to show the photos that are not included on any of your albums right here, but we also have a filter now with shared with you, which basically will only show photos that actually have been shared with you. And Find My is finally available in Korea. Apple has actually enabled Find My in South Korea. There was also a petition for that to actually enable those features in South Korea, and Apple has actually promised to bring Find My in South Korea with, of course, the release of a new update in April 2025. And it has happened with any user right there that is actually on the first beta of iOS 18.4. They will be able to have access to Find My. As we showed you on our first video, there are changes to the podcast app as well. We have 2 new widgets, but also if you go to the settings of your podcast, we basically go to your account, you will have now device settings right here. So you will have the podcast settings and notification settings for podcast, of course. But if you tap on them right now, they don't do anything. They just sit there. But of course, these are new features coming most likely with the second beta. And with the first beta of iOS 18.4, you will see also collections here for wallpapers. I know this has actually been removed for a lot of people, and now it's back with the first beta of iOS 18.4, and now all the users are seeing the collections right here under the wallpaper section when you're trying to basically create a new lock screen for your device. You will see the collection right here containing the old school wallpapers. And now let's quickly take a look at the performance here. We have a Geekbench score here for iOS 18.4. On the iPhone 15 Pro Max here, we have a single core score at 2,959, which is slightly better when you compare to iOS 18.3. Now just keep in mind that this update has just been installed like 3 days ago, and it's the first beta, and of course in the next few days we will most likely get a way better result than this, even though this is still really good. And we can see the multi-core score here. We have of course a decrease here, but it's at 7,417 for iOS 18.4, while it was 7,510 for iOS 18.3. But of course, again, we have to keep in mind that this is a public release and this right here is a first beta. And now let's take a look at another really important thing before we move on and talk about the beta 2 release. So the battery, of course, is always important when it comes to new updates. Taking a look here at the last couple of days, which I've used my device on iOS 18.4 beta 1. So right here with 75% battery is at 6 hours 46 minutes, which is not that bad. Keep in mind that the battery health of this device is at 91%, and then right here with about 80% battery, 5 hours 47 minutes, which again is quite solid. Again, keeping in mind this is a beta 1 and will most likely be way better in the next few days. So when to expect the second beta of iOS 18.4? Well, we just had beta 1 release on the 21st, so don't expect a new beta this week. This is quite a big update and it will require Apple a few more days to release the second beta. My opinion will be the 3rd of March or the 4th of March, the dates that we get the second beta of iOS 18.4, and it will be really interesting to see if Apple will actually be able to release the new Siri with iOS 18.4 or not, and or if they will just actually go ahead and postpone it for iOS 18.5. So that's basically it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Smash that like button if you did and subscribe for more. And I'll see you on the next one.